Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. Today, we are here talking about the new moon in the sign of Cancer coming in on the 25th of June of 2025. This is lucky. This is a very potent, magical energy, very optimistic, very expansive. But yes, we're going to harness a little bit of luck enough for everybody to go all around. So we're going to talk about some of the aspects of this. We're also going to pull a couple of cards for the collective. We're also going to look at each astrological sign to see where this is really highlighting an area of life for you. So I will put all the timestamps down below. Watch your sun, moon, and your rising sign. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my comment. And don't be afraid to say hi, or at least drop a heart in the comments. I'll heart you back. And, we'll just spread some wonderful love and some good vibes. So the new moon in Cancer, like I said, this is on the 25th of June, and there's a lot of Cancerian energy here. This is happening at 4 degrees. If you follow degree astrology, 4 degrees is a Cancerian degree. And, so it is very loving, very caring, very nurturing, very emotional, kind of a little bit spiritual as well. So it's a great time to do some meditation, tap into your spiritual signs, water sign, right? So it's a very creative sign here as well. But one thing that people forget about Cancer is that it is a cardinal sign. And people have an image of, Cancerian energy of, staying home, putting on some comfy clothes, curling up under a blanket, watching TV, being a little bit of a homebody, or, baking cookies. And while all of that is certainly possible, but Cancerian energy is about starting something, initiating something, right? So if you are one of the cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, this is a great time for you, especially to have a new beginning. Very positive for you. So if there's been something that you've been putting off or something that you've been wanting to do and you just haven't quite gotten there yet, this is a good time to make some time and put in a little bit of effort, okay, to get something off the ground. Initiate something, be a little bit assertive, take the lead, and take action. All right. Even if you aren't one of the cardinal signs, right, we can still harness this energy to get something off the ground. So it can certainly be some very uplifting energy here for us. This lunation will occur at 3:31 a.m. And if you're in the Pacific time zone. If you're in the Eastern time zone, it'll be 6:31 a.m. If you're over in the UK, this will be 11:31 a.m. And if you're in Australia, all the way over there, this will happen at 8:31 p.m. So if you're on the west coast of North America, like I am, it's like 3:30 in the morning, which is indubitably when I tend to happen to get up. So I wake up naturally at that time pretty much every single day. So if you happen to be awake at that time, you can really, really harness this energy because it's most potent at that time. But if you are not, don't worry. We do feel the new moon a couple of days before, a couple of days after. But you can really take advantage of this the day before, because on June 24th, luckiest day of the year, okay, we do have the sun conjuncting Jupiter. Luckiest day of the year brings us wisdom, brings us abundance, expansion, blessings, optimism, and some growth. So you can make a wish on that day. And so, of course, not only do we have that beautiful conjunction there, but it's also coinciding with new moon energy. So beautiful, beautiful time for a fresh start, new beginnings, or making the leap, right? Taking something up to the next level, a new stage, if you will. Jupiter is our most beneficial planet, is also represented by the number 4, right? Which is tied back into your, number 4. It's a great number for, it depends on, of course, your upbringing, right? Some cultures think that 4 is not a lucky number. However, I am not of that kind of subscriber. 4 is associated with Jupiter. 4 brings us stability and security and a foundation, right? There's 4 legs on a chair, 4 legs on a table, right? So it brings us stability. If we only had 3 legs on our chair, we would tip over. So we can certainly look at 4 in a very positive light. And so all of this beautiful Cancerian energy is bringing us this wonderful opportunity for nurturing and for growth. What else do we have here? We've got a great time with a new moon, of course, always to plant seeds and set intentions. But we do have a square with Saturn happening. So this can be a karmic reset, a new beginning for you there, in your life cycle. You could also really, Saturn can help you get your head out of the clouds a little bit, and so we can take that square and we can say, okay, how can I work with this? It's like we can dream big with Cancerian energy, but we also need to come into reality, right? And so what realistic approach, what goals do I need to set? What outline of my path forward do I need to make sure that I have a successful new beginning, right? Or I make those successful improvements or changes in my life. So Saturn really just says, get real. Okay, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to prevent you from doing something, but I'm going to slow you down a little bit and make sure you have the opportunity to bring something into reality. But we could also feel a little bit of a push, pull, and drag sometimes when we do have Saturn, and so it's not necessarily negative, right? As some people do view Saturn as a little bit negative, because Saturn does delay the things that we really want and desire. And we usually have to learn something when Saturn comes into effect, and we don't want to learn something, right? We don't want to be taught a life lesson. We just want to have everything, and that's not always necessarily the case. But between Jupiter and Saturn, we can gain those pearls of wisdom that we may need. We've got some other aspects here associated with Cancer. We do have a stellium of planets in the sign of Cancer. So we've got all piled up. We've got Jupiter, the Sun, the Moon, and we also have Mercury and Fortuna as well. So great time to communicate, to either put big ideas that we have into motion, or journal, write things down, talk things out, especially with a significant other or family members. You might be talking about moving where you live. You might be talking about expanding your family. You might be talking about buying a home, or redecorating or remodeling, right? Cancerian energy is wonderful for all of that. Anything to do with your home, your space, and your family. So it can be really awesome, for maybe even expanding a business, especially if your business centers around home services. So again, like if you're a contractor, if you're in construction, if you're an interior decorator, right? Or maybe whether you do it professionally or an amateur at it, this can be some really creative energy that's flowing your way. There can also be some quick energy coming in. So if you've been wanting things to get off the ground, or you've been, really trying to navigate some blocks and obstacles that you've maybe been experiencing, this can be where you're a little bit more in the flow, and things can be a lot easier for you to get what you want. You might not feel like you're as blocked as maybe you previously has been. So if you've had a creative block at all, this can be where that path forward does clear for you. So new moon again is new beginnings, and this could be really where you can feel some of the effects, and you can maybe even see some things happening within the next 2 to 4 weeks after this lunation. But a new moon really comes to fruition in 6 months at the full moon in Cancer. This one your luck will probably grow and expand for you for about the next year, because Jupiter is in Cancer for the next year. So, you can really kind of extend this energy. All right. But the full moon that will occur in the sign of Cancer will come in on January 3rd of 2026. It will be a full moon at 13 degrees, which is an Aries degree. So very fiery energy, and again, a cardinal energy as well. So you could be working on a whole bunch of things, and then boom, this is where everything really picks up speed, and you can really see all the results of what you've been doing, because things can come to fruition, of course, at the full moon. But that full moon will have a trine going on. It'll have a trine to the North Node in Pisces. We've got Mars, Cazimi in the sign of Capricorn. Really good energy for your business growth, your career path, your reputation, all those things. So you could have something really wonderful happening there, and there'll be a triple conjunction at that time as well. So that'll be really exciting, and it'll be this kind of energy where, we feel like we can have everything. We can have our cake and eat it too. We can have our successful career, but we can also have a wonderful, sustainable, and nurturing family life, right? It's like we've got the best of both worlds going on there. So again, this new moon is really setting us up for a really positive future. Let's pull a card for the collective and see what we've got coming out. And we've got the Eight of Cups. Where are you going? What do you need to leave behind? What baggage do you need to unload so you can have a fresh start, or you can take something to the next level? The Eight of Cups can certainly show that there could be something that you need to detach from, or you've been feeling detached. And if you've been feeling detached emotionally, right, what can you do? What new path or new direction can you move forward in, right, to get your mojo back, right? To either leave something behind or harness the power of a new beginning. What are your dreams and what are your goals? Because the Eight of Cups quite often does represent turning your back on the past that no longer serves you, or some emotions that no longer serve you, something, right? And you're moving to your wishes and your goals and your dreams, because your next card is your Nine of Cups, which is your wish fulfillment, your attainment of your goals, feeling happy, feeling content, feeling wonderful, right? And so what do you need to let go of? What do you need to leave behind in order to find that? Some of you, the Eight of Cups is certainly a card of transitioning from one situation or one path into another, whether it's something brand new or something that is the next level, but you're moving towards something that is more exciting, more passionate, more emotionally fulfilling as well. So we do need to tap into our emotions, and certainly that Cancerian energy will help us to do that. And we've also got one more card here, moon message for you guys. And we've got I seek balance and grounding. There you go. Make sure you always ground yourself at any kind of, whenever we do have any kind of lunations at all, because they do tend to be emotional. Granted, the new moons are a little bit calmer and more peaceful than a full moon may be, but ground yourself, right? And that Saturn energy will help ground ourselves in reality while also following our dreams. Right. And again, it can be the best of both worlds there. So if you don't have balance in your life, it's a great time to make some changes, and certainly do connect with nature, connect with water. So if you want to work with this moon, a new moon, of course, we can write some things down. We can set those intentions. We can certainly, because it's Cancerian energy, it's very water-based energy, we can sit by a body of water, have a cleansing shower, have a bath, walk by the ocean, just sit in the rain, or sit on your covered balcony, listening to a rain shower. Anything connected with water there will be good, and connecting with nature can help ground you. But you can also work with crystals at this moon as well. And ones that can certainly be tied to Cancer. You can use quartz, whether it's rose quartz or clear quartz, to amplify some energy. Rose quartz, of course, is very much connected with love and nurturing, right? So great one to use in Cancer and energy. You can also, of course, use moonstone. I've got a few different moonstones. One of my particular favorites, I've got the white moonstone. I've got a rainbow moonstone. Got some beautiful ones. I've got some raw moonstone there as well. And it's very calming and very peaceful in its energy. So it's beautiful, and it can help with some it can help with some healing energy there as well. You can also use other things tied with Cancer, such as pearls or opals. If you are drawn to those, whether you wear them or whether you just have them, on your altar, your divination table, or anything like that, they can help bring in some calm, peaceful vibes for you. So having said all of that, a little bit long-winded, I know, but having said all of that, we're going to leave that there for the collective. Okay, so we're going to move on to each particular sign and, see where this is activating something for you, where it's really amplifying some energy for you, and see where you want to maybe put some energy in, or where you're going to get a little bit of luck. So again, all your timestamps down below. Make sure you do hit like, share, and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. It helps the video get seen. It's free for you. It takes like a split second, but it really does help my channel. So I do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And again, make sure you do watch your sun, moon, and your rising sign for your big picture. Thank you for watching, guys. Timestamps below. Hello there, Aries, and welcome to your new moon in Cancer reading. So this for you is occurring in your 4th house. So this can be super, super lucky for you for anything around your home. So your home, your family, you could be focusing on some real estate. You could certainly be focusing on finding a new place to live, expanding your home, or just freshening up your environment in some way. Some of you could potentially be talking about adding to your family. One of your children might have some sort of pregnancy announcement in the next few months or so as well. You could also have a change in a dynamic of your family environment. So because your 4th house does have to do with your family and your children, your parents, especially a nurturing parent, typically the mother. But it can also be like grandmothers, aunts, and that kind of thing, or whoever was the more nurturing person in your household. But again, a little bit more of a feminine energy than anything else. It also has to do with your sense of security. So, you might be, you might be looking to secure your house in some way. Or maybe improve your sense of security. That could be your location where you live. Maybe you have always been meaning to change the lock on the front door. And now you're like, oh, okay, this thing's getting really awful and it's kind of loose. So, maybe you're going to install some new locks on your doors, or do something to fix the locks on your doors, or, put some safety protocols on your windows, right? So, no one can break in and that kind of thing, right? So kids have something like that, or maybe you want to move to a better neighborhood. So all of these things can certainly be going on for you, but especially really quite positive for real estate, and making your home your true castle, where you do feel like you want to cozy up and, really spend a little bit more time with yourself and your loved ones. We have the night moon coming up here for you as your first message, and this is shadow work. So, like I said earlier, the day before the new moon, we do have the sun conjunct Jupiter, and that coincides with the dark moon. And the dark moon, of course, is where, we can go in and we can do some shadow work for sure. What's hiding in the darkness, we can figure some things out. And the sun conjuncting Jupiter can illuminate something that has been hiding in the shadows, right? This is a really great time to bring something out into the open, whether it's some emotions, whether it's something that needs healing, or maybe it's a dream. that you've been keeping in the dark, right? So something that has been in the dark can certainly come out. But doing your shadow work as well, especially the day before, can really be about, recognizing what we need to let go of, what we need to cleanse, what we need to purge, or what we need to focus on for healing. And this, of course, helps us to move forward and leave something behind. So just like when we saw the Eight of Cups energy, right? It doesn't have to be a physical transformation or a physical transition or a physical leaving behind. It can be old fears and worries and doubts, the things that hide in the darkness, right? It can be, some emotional baggage or some old wounds, especially family wounds here as well. And with this new moon occurring in your fourth house, this does have to do with, your connection, your relationship with your parents, your ancestors, that kind of thing. So there could be a family secret that maybe you discover. You could decide that you want to work on your family tree and you find something out about your ancestors, that kind of thing. Or maybe you've got some big burning why questions, and this can certainly be a good time to work through those. But great time there to do a little bit of shadow work so that you can have that fresh start. We have the wise old man coming here for you guys. And I do love this because this is the Emperor. And the Emperor, of course, is Aries energy. And this is your card, right? So where do you need to take charge? What do you need to initiate? Where do you need to take action? Where do you need to believe in yourself? And where do you need to create structure and strategy, right? The wise old man here is about tapping into your wisdom. You could potentially have a parent or a family member that is wise or that does know some things, or that you can ask some questions from, and they can probably give you some really good advice or give you some information or guidance that maybe you didn't even know that you were looking for. But this can also be your energy as well, right? And the Emperor is what this is, and this can certainly be about taking charge, being a leader, and whether you're initiating something or whether you're seeing something through to the end, right? This is your position of power, right? But not, it's in the upright, so it's not negative power, right? We can, have different levels or different uses of our personal power, but I think it's really about you, your inner strength. And so what are you trying to accomplish? What do you want to do new? Where do you want to succeed? And the Emperor, the wise old man here, says you have all the wisdom inside you that you need, right? But there could also be some very beneficial people around you, or one specific person that might be able to help you along your journey. And you would be wise to maybe listen to them or hear them out, to listen to their ideas a little bit, right? So it's a great energy there for success, for strategy, for using your wisdom. Great energy here for business as well. And of course, for stability and security in your life. So be like the Emperor and be true to yourself, really, right? Be true to yourself, be true to who you really are, and, focus on your goals as well, right? What is your goal? What is your dream? Because remember, you have the power to command, you have the power to achieve. All right. Here's your next card. I am honest with myself and others. Absolutely, right? Honesty is the key. Tap into the power of Mercury, communicate. And sometimes we communicate things out, and, they are an initiator for some change, all right, or for some positive things to happen. So be honest. The truth will always set you free. And when we're honest with ourselves, we're also honest with other people. We don't have to remember things, right? It's honesty is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Anyways, I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. Good luck in this lunation, and really work with this new moon. It will really benefit you. I thank you for watching, guys. We're going to move on to Taurus. Hello there, Taurus, and welcome to your new moon in Cancer reading. So this is occurring in your third house, ruled by Mercury. So this is pretty awesome. Mercury is, of course, in a wonderful aspect to this new moon. And this really does highlight your communication, your ideas, something that you've been thinking about, right? So what this new moon can really do for you is, if you've been thinking about something, thinking, okay, now is the time to do, okay, instead of just overthinking and overanalyzing. Now is the time to take some action and get something in motion. All right, so really great time to step in the flow of things and do something about what you've been dreaming about. This is also highlighting your technology devices as well. So some of you could potentially be getting a new TV, a new phone, a new computer, but you could also be exploring new forms of communication. You could also get some messages or opportunities that do come in that are either via some electronic communication, or like working with some technology and devices as well, right? So you could get potentially a brand new job because you've got a vision or a business idea that involves like something like AI or something like that, right? Or a digital creator of some kind, right? This can be really good for that as well. Some of you could potentially be wanting to move to a new neighborhood, a new community. You could have some new neighbors that come in. It's also about your social life. Okay, so maybe you want to make some changes in regards to your social life, who you hang out with, who you're connected to. So you might want to simplify your life a little bit because perhaps it's gotten loud, right? And with Cancerian energy wanting you to either nurture yourself, your home, protect your privacy, right? All those kinds of things. You might be wanting to have a look at your social life or your social media, and you might want to be, securing, technology, right? So securing your accounts, changing your passwords, that kind of thing, or even just scaling down how much social media that you might be connected with, something to simplify your life, right? So you're not always glued to the phone and you can pay attention to the really important things. But you might be having a little bit of a change in perception about something as well. We have moon madness, avoid drama. Interesting. So with this occurring in your third house of communication, thoughts, gossip, perhaps here as well, neighborhood, your neighbors, this can certainly be a good time to remind yourself to take maybe a new approach, okay, and not get embroiled in some drama that may be going on. Okay, if someone wants to engage in gossip, maybe this is the time where you decide that, normally I would engage in this little gossip and this little chit chat, but I got more important things to do. I got some better things to do. All right. There could also be some potential drama with your family and your family unit as well. But with this being new moon energy, you could be changing how you deal with it or how you approach it. Right. And so maybe it's, for some of you, it might be not getting involved. It might be turning your back, or it might be putting your foot down once and for all and establishing or setting or re-engaging some boundaries, right? That are there, even if someone turns around, and if you have always been a people pleaser or always have said yes to someone, or if someone wants to borrow some money or something like that, right? This is where you kind of lay things down, and you really are firm in your commitment to really enforcing those boundaries that you might have, right? Someone might call you selfish, they might call you names, whatever, but the people who are the most upset when we really enforce those boundaries are the people that are benefiting from your lack of them. All right, so just remember that sometimes. So avoid drama. Focus on yourself, take care of yourself, focus on the pleasant things, okay, and focus on the future, move forward, right? And this will certainly help you. Wonderful. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Well, we love that. So the Ace of Pentacles, a new start, a fresh beginning. This is super lucky. Out of all of the aces are all lucky. The aces all represent something new. whether it's a new beginning or a new stage of something or a new idea, whatever it happens to be, right? They're gifts from the universe, typically tied with some manifestation energy. So dream big and manifest big. Okay. But the Ace of Pentacles can certainly be quite lucky, especially with your money. And so make a wish on a star, do some manifestation rituals, and you may just have number one, a little bit of luck, a lot of luck on your side, or you could get like a windfall or something, because sometimes that's the impact that Ace of Pentacles can certainly bring in. But the Ace of Pentacles can really be a focus on your money or your knowledge or your possessions. And again, some of you might be buying something new, right? Maybe it's time to upgrade your cell phone or upgrade like your tablet or something like that. Maybe get a new TV, whatever it happens to be, right? Or you might need to get something repaired, and maybe you decide to do that. So you could be spending a little bit of money somewhere at this new moon. But this can also represent spending money on something that is really positive for you, and that can maybe either bring you growth or put you in a better position. This can be an investment opportunity, investing your money, or you could be receiving something there as well. It can be about receiving a gift. Okay, great card for a new beginning with your home, with a job, maybe even a vehicle, a car, because the third house is tied to travel, but short trips and quite typically vehicles, right? So, and Cancerian energy is represented by the Chariot card, right, which can represent a vehicle as well. So you might be upgrading your wheels at some point, or even buying like a bicycle or something like that. So whatever it happens to be, Ace of Pentacles is one of the luckiest cards that you can get. So really harness the energy of this new moon. Let's get you one final card here. This card always reminds me of Sagittarius, the Archer, which is Jupiter energy. But every day I focus on what is important. What target do you have in mind? This is an Archer on this thing, right? The Archer lines up the target. Okay. So what is your target? What is your goals? Focus on that. Don't be distracted by the things that don't matter. Okay. Because sometimes that's easy to do, especially where maybe family or neighbors or friends and things like that is involved. Focus on you, focus on your goals, focus on what you want, focus on the positive. Okay. And you'd be surprised what may transpire for you. I'll leave that there for you guys. Thank you for watching. We'll move on now to Gemini. Hello there, Gemini, and welcome to your new moon in Cancer reading. This is a focus on your money, your possessions, your beliefs, your habits about money. This is about the things you own, your income, how you make your money, how you spend your money, how you invest your money. So your second house in astrology is ruled by Venus and brings in some Taurus energy. And so, with this, you might be wanting to make some changes. You could have some unexpected results. You could be really wanting to start something new. Great energy for starting a new business, maybe starting a home-based business or working from your home, perhaps. You could be, turning a home-based business into something bigger, right? All this wonderful energy. But whatever it happens to be, it's all about your money. Also about your possessions, right? The things that you own, your sense of value, your sense of worth. Some of you might be looking at your possessions and wanting to maybe sell some for a little bit of money. Some, of course, Cancerian energy being around the home. Maybe you want to kind of rearrange your home, your furniture, do a little bit of redecorating, and get some new furniture. So you might sell your old furniture before you buy some new furniture, that kind of thing. Or if you find that your home is too cluttered, then maybe you want to bring in a little bit of pocket money by selling some of your cluttery things, right? And just kind of making things just change the energy around your home. So whatever it is, you could be finding an investment opportunity. You could be having some money coming in, perhaps. Great time to find or look for a new job. Over the next 6 months to a year, you can really see some improvements in your finances there. So whether you're making money or spending money, okay, there could be something new or better on your horizons. We've got the energy of moonbeams coming in for you, bringing a focus. What do you want? What are your goals? What are your dreams? Of course, this moon, we're dreaming big. Okay, but Saturn has us focusing on our goals and, getting down to earth and making a plan, right? Making something real. And so when we lose focus, we tend to stray. We don't get things done. We feel like we're a little feather floating on the wind, right? So focus, but don't obsess, right? So wherever you put your focus, wherever you put your energy, time, and attention is what will manifest and what will blossom in your life. Okay. And we want to make sure that we are focusing on the positive. And if there's one thing that this new moon brings in with Jupiter right there, okay, is positivity and optimism, growth and expansion. Okay. And remember, if we put our focus on the things that we don't have, the things that we haven't achieved, or if we don't believe that we can achieve some things, right, then those are the things that are going to keep on manifesting. So we want to make sure we put our energy towards the good things, towards the positive things, and keep that optimistic mindset and attitude, but be open to the possibilities as well. Because Jupiter is also where you're going to be open to the potential, open to the possibilities, open to new ideas, open to other perspectives even as well. And this is where we use our wisdom a little bit. Okay, so where is your focus? Is it on the positive? Is it on the negative? Is it on abundance or is it on lack? Okay, keep that in mind. We have the Six of Pentacles, something coming back to you. Loving this. Okay, so the Six of Pentacles is yet again another reminder of what we put out there comes back to us. Okay, whether it's energy, thoughts, ideas, help, right? Six of Pentacles can certainly be a card of charity or being helpful, right? And then something will flow back to you, often multiplied. So this is that circulatory energy, right? What we put out reverberates back. So again, put out the positive vibes, put out optimism, put out good thoughts, good energy, right? All that kind of thing, but also be helpful with others as well. And you just never know when that help and support or dividends and things like that may come back to you. Often when we do get the Six of Pentacles, we often, yes, whatever we've previously put out can certainly come back to us also. So you could potentially be getting something back in regards to money or opportunity. Sometimes we do get bonuses and raises, a job that pays you what you're worth, or someone may give you some advice or help that you've previously given out to them, right? So the universe provides, the universe brings back things to you because of the energy or because of the things that you have already put out there and that you've already done. So get ready to receive in this energy as well, but be, people helping people, universe, you help, you put out the energy, the universe helps you out back, all this kind of stuff, right? Everything flows, and it's certainly about being in the flow there as well. The Six of Pentacles is also about balance and harmony, right? Fairness and equality. So if you are perhaps working in a job right now and you're working your fingers, your knuckles to the bone, and you're not getting paid what you're worth, the Six of Pentacles shows you that there may be a better way. There may be a new beginning. There may be a new opportunity out there for you to get an honest day's work for an honest day's pay, to get paid what you are worth, maybe even a little bit more, right? And to restore the balance and harmony on those scales, right? So, whether this is you just doing something for yourself, or whether this is, someone maybe righting some wrongs, right? Remember to take action and take initiative when you need to, all right? Communicate when you need to as well, right? Because sometimes we don't get what we deserve, or we don't get what we want because we didn't ask for it. And sometimes all we simply need to do is ask for it. So whether it's to the universe or to certain people, okay? Certainly a wonderful circulatory energy, and some of you could get a little bit of a surprise. Here is your moon card. I am loved beyond measure. Okay, the universe wants you to know that, number one. Okay. And also, this is an affirmation that you can repeat to yourself. Remember, Cancerian energy, it's all about nurturing and caring, not just about other people, but also about yourself, right? Self-love, self-care, it all starts inside you. It all starts at home. All right. So I am loved beyond measure. Repeat that in the mirror. That's what I have for you guys. I'll leave that there for you. Thank you for watching. We're going to move on now to Cancer. Hello there, Cancer, and welcome to your new moon readings. So, of course, this is all about you happening in your first house. And so this can certainly be about focusing on things that maybe you've never done before, right? It's first time for everything. And so that can, thank you, that can be, you know, kind of the attitude that you're adopting, right? And so whether it's a first for you, taking a leap of faith, or a first for you doing an activity that you've never done before, right? Pushing yourself to some sort of outer limits a little bit, right? So that you can have that personal growth and experiences that maybe you didn't even know that you were missing, right? So this can be a really great time for any of that. This is also a good time to focus on your personal goals and your dreams, right? This can be where you do something nice for yourself, something good for yourself, something that you've always wanted to do, or something that you don't normally do, you don't typically do, right? Because Jupiter in your sign is really not only bringing in some luck and expansion and growth and wisdom and, you know, big picture and all this kind of stuff, but Jupiter energy does push us to just a little bit outside of our comfort zone, right? Not so far that we get paralyzed with fear, right? But just far enough that we're uncomfortable, right? But we're going to keep going, right? It's like, I'm not entirely comfortable, but I'm kind of excited at the same time. Because if we don't get just a little bit out of our comfort zone, we don't grow. Right? We don't, we don't expand our horizons, right? We stay in our little comfort zone, right? Which doesn't change, and it's not always healthy, and we do tend to outgrow it. So where do you need to just push just that little bit? Because Jupiter is there helping support you and guide you every single step of the way. But maybe you do need to get a little bit uncomfortable with something to reap some wonderful rewards or to get that personal growth. The first house energy here, especially with a new moon, you could certainly be looking at your hairstyle, your hair color, your wardrobe, those kind of things, the face that you put onto the world. And this would actually be a really good time to, try a new hairstyle. Right. And again, that Jupiter energy is kind of pushing you, right? It's bringing you in a little bit transformation, maybe, right? And, it's like, yeah, I'm going to try, I've had long hair for 20 years. I'm going to see what I look like with, short hair, or maybe like a bob or something like that. Or, I've always had dark hair. Maybe I'm going to be a blonde, right? And those kind of things. So, you could be trying any of those things, or maybe I normally always wear pants and I'm going to try and wear a skirt from now on, or something like that, right? So you could just be kind of testing a little bit of your boundaries and just trying something a little bit new. So whatever it is, though, it's all about you. It's your goals, your dreams. What do you want? Your happiness, right? And so you really harness all the magic that this new moon has to offer. We've got moon cycles here for you, reminding you to have a little bit of patience. Okay. And, patience, of course, is a virtue. For some of you here with this new moon, you could potentially have some doors opening for you that you've been waiting for a while. Right? You could get some good news that you've been waiting for a while, or maybe you have an opportunity to get something off the ground, or to make some change that you've been waiting for a while. So your patience can certainly pay off. This is also reminding you, okay, that the seeds of intentions that we plant at a new moon, some can happen really quickly. So some of you in the next 2 to 4 weeks, you can see something really magical happening, or you can see something transpiring, or you be opening a door. Right? But for others of you, okay, you're looking at 6 months, maybe even as much of a year, because you do have Jupiter in your sign for quite a while, Okay, so does everything have to happen all in 1 second? No. And Saturn reminds you that sometimes those things that do come to fruition slowly are more likely the ones that are going to stick. And so patience may be required, but you have the power and the potential to harness all of the possibilities. And that's really what a new moon represents. Happy birthday, by the way, Cancer, to all of you. And whether you're experiencing a birthday around the new moon or a little bit later in July, happy birthday to you guys, right? And so a birthday, it's your astrological new year, right? So the next year, what does that look like to you? Set short-term intentions and long-term intentions, right? And you just never know what may happen. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Love that. Queen of Pentacles is an awesome, awesome card to get. Number one, the Queen of Pentacles is about receiving blessings, prosperity, abundance. So some wonderful energy. It's also a very creative and nurturing energy. Queen of Pentacles is known as a little bit of a homebody, nurturing goals and dreams, nurturing your environment. Also, it's very patient energy because the Queen of Pentacles is the one that is like the farmer, right? So if you were to take an Ace of Pentacles, right? You were to take a seed and you plant it in your garden, okay? And this is a great thing to try, actually. And whether you do it inside or outside, doesn't really matter. But plant a seed, okay? And watch it grow. It takes a while, right? The Queen of Pentacles is the energy that says, okay, you planted your seed. That's great. I'm going to tend to the garden. I'm going to be the one that gives it water, that gives it fertilizer. I'm going to be the one that pulls out any weeds that don't belong there. And your intention, your seed is safe with me. And with me, it will blossom and it will grow. And it will grow into something that you wanted or something that you need or something better. And so it's a wonderful energy for patience, but to watch and feel something blossom and grow. And this can certainly be representative of you, right? Nurturing your goals, your dreams, nurturing yourself so that you can blossom and grow. But it is also one that is centered around the home. The Queen of Pentacles is your home, your castle. Do you like going home? Do you like spending time at home? Do you feel comfortable and safe and warm and secure in your home or with your family or with who you live with or, in your neighborhood? If not, the Queen of Pentacles says here that it's time to focus on that, right? And, maybe there'll be an opportunity where you might find just what you're looking for. It may require some change. It may require a little bit of fancy footwork, right? It may cost a little bit more money, perhaps, but the potential to make more money there is there as well. All right. And so, this is really reminding you to focus on you. So nurture, be patient, stay grounded, set your intentions, okay? And then watch yourself and your goals and dreams blossom. Beautiful card. But some of you could potentially have a little bit of abundance and maybe even a windfall of some kind headed your way as well. Got your moon card there. A nice little high five. I teach people how to treat me. So it always starts within us. How do you treat yourself? Okay. Do you love yourself? Do you nurture yourself? Do you treat yourself well? If the answer is no, then it's time to start focusing on that. But also, our family, our spouses, our children, right? You're a nurturing kind of person, right? You take care of things. You might be really, you might really love taking care of other people. But do they also take care of you? Or do they take advantage of you, right? Are you always the giver and not the receiver? So it's time to find a little bit more of a balance there, okay? It's okay to say no every once in a while. It's okay to, have boundaries and really enforce those every once in a while as well, All right. And so for some of you, there is a big new beginning on the horizon, a big epiphany moment on the horizon here for you, and maybe even a fresh start with something with your home, your family. But I treat people how to treat me. Let that resonate with you and affirm that. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. Good luck in this lunation. Take advantage of this. All right. I thank you for watching, and we will move on now to Leo. Hello there, Leo, and welcome to your new moon in Cancer reading. So this might be a really interesting one for you. Certainly pay attention to your dreams. Your intuition is going to be really heightened. Great time for some divination, some manifestation practices. This is happening in your 12th house, which does tend to be incredibly spiritual. But your 12th house is also about endings, right? Last house in the wheel. It's associated with Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac. And it really highlights your subconscious, things that have been hidden. It is the house of endings. All right. Like done, one and done, right? Complete endings there. So you could have the end of a karmic cycle coming in for you. And you've paid off your karmic debts, you're good. The 12th house also is related to secrets. So perhaps there's something here that you've been keeping hidden from the world, and the new energy for you is sharing things for the first time, right? You could also, in this energy, discover some information or some family secret, perhaps, right? With that Cancer energy being associated with your home, with your family. But you could have some big shifts that are coming in here for you with this. But again, it's, lily pad. Sorry, my cat is destroying my place anyway. She's trying to get on my table, and it's not allowed. There's candles up here. Anyway, so yeah, you could have some big shifts coming in here for you with this new moon in the 12th house, right? Out with the old, in with the new. Okay. And it's also a reminder in your 12th house energy that in order to have a fresh start, we do need to clean up our house. We do need to get rid of old things, whether it's old energy, old outdated belief systems, or whether we need to resolve matters once and for all so they don't come up again. So it's like a final ending kind of energy there. All right. So 12th house, very mystical, very magical, very secretive. You might really find that at this new moon, you want to spend some time alone. And so again, this can maybe change some, really focus on changing some dynamic in your household and where you live. Do you ever get alone time? Are you always with other people? Is your time and energy always spread out so thin, right? And so this can be where you decide that, okay, I've got to stop doing something so that I can have a little bit more time for myself, a little bit more quiet time. But a great new moon here for you to meditate, to contemplate, and of course, set some wonderful intentions there, okay? We have drawing down the moon, we've got knowledge. Okay, so with this energy here, number one, it is reminding you that you've got a lot of wisdom, you've got a lot of knowledge. So if you need to make any changes, need to make any decisions, if you've been hemming and hawing on something, the best thing that you can do is go within. Because internally is where you're going to really know what the real answer is for you. So if you've been back and forth on something, you've been on the fence about something, meditate. You don't have to make it all floofy and whatever, right? You can just simply sit, take a few deep breaths in and out. 5 minutes. And often something will click, something will spark. Right? It doesn't have to be all floofy and magical for you to do some meditation, to just connect with your higher self, with your inner wisdom, right? So keep that in mind with that. Now with the knowledge energy, you could be sharing knowledge or you could be discovering some knowledge here as well. It's a great time to learn something about yourself, about your ancestry. It's a great time for maybe people to learn something about you. So where do you need to find knowledge? Where are you seeking knowledge? what answers may come to you, or what hidden things may be revealed for you. Very interesting energy. We have the Seven of Pentacles here as well. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is one of quiet contemplation. It is also one where something can come to fruition, but we're trying to figure out, is there a better way? Am I still on the right path? Is there still room for growth and opportunity where I am? So some of you may feel like you're at a little bit of a crossroads, okay? And with the 12th house energy, you very well may be. So again, you're going into a quiet place. You're going internal. You're going within. Am I where I want to be? Is the path forward still clear? Is there still blessings on the path that I'm on? If not, what do I need to do differently? Is there something I can do to improve my current situation? Or is it time to reap what I have sown and to move on to something different? And that can be any aspect of your life, right? It can be your career path. It can be your relationship. It can be your family. It can be your money, right? Whatever it happens to be. It's taken a long time, a lot of commitment, a lot of dedication to get to where you are today. And sometimes when we're in the Seven of Pentacles energy, sometimes we are at this stage where we are assessing where we are. And we make decisions on that. Do we need to change our strategy? Is there something we're missing? Is there something hidden? But again, the Seven of Pentacles, there could be something that you are harvesting at the time of this new moon as well, because it certainly can be something coming to fruition for you. Now, it is a reminder that sometimes for something to blossom and come to fruition, we do need to be patient, because we need to be very patient with the Seven of Pentacles. And so your patience could very well pay off. So set your intentions, set your goals at this new moon, okay, and trust in the process. Okay, every once in a while, assess where you are, see if you need to make any course corrections along your way. Okay, and if you're still feeling good, you're still feeling fine, keep on going. Right? And if not, make some change. Okay. But the Seven of Pentacles, in order to reap our blessings and to reap what we have sown, we do sometimes need to wait just a little while. We do need to nurture those things. And again, with this, the new moon here, 6 months from now will turn into the full moon. So it could be a 6-month cycle for you, but it could be a year, only because we do have Jupiter in Cancer for the next year. So we could have a lot of different kind of blessings and opportunities that are opening up. Got your moon card and your affirmation here for you. And that's a very nice, calm, peaceful person meditating, right? We've got the moon, we've got the sun, very nice. I seek balance and grounding. Very 12th house energy, right? Seek balance and grounding. Do you have balance in your life? If not, you might be making some changes, but certainly a little bit of meditation, some calm, peaceful vibes for you, and a little bit of alone time can certainly be your way to navigate something through this moon. You could have a big epiphany, right? Very spiritual house, very great for all of your spiritual practices, divinations, and of course, for setting intentions. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching, and we'll move on now to Virgo. Hello there, Virgo, and welcome to your new moon in Cancer reading. So are you ready for a sparkly new moon here? Virgo, this is your 11th house energy, so ruled by Uranus, and brings in a little bit of an Aquarian flair for you, but the 11th house is very much associated with your wishes. So wish big, dream big, manifest your heart's desire, and you just never know, Uranus, what may happen. So you could potentially be experiencing a wish come true fairly quickly, But for others of you, it may take a while, but you just never know when it may happen. Expect the unexpected. Now, the 11th house also brings you liberty and freedom from things. So it's a great time, new moon energy, to let some things go, okay? To walk away from something that is hindering you, that's not working for you anymore. And because your 11th house is also associated with your social media, your memberships, the groups of people, all those kind of things. Some of you may have found that your world has gotten quite loud or very cluttered, especially with people. And so this can be a really good time for you to, maybe let go, release some, some groups that you belong to, pare back your social media a little bit, or maybe reconnect or connect with new people that are a little bit more in alignment with your energy, right? And, so how sometimes our social media pages and things like that, they start to, I don't know about you guys, but for the last few months or so, I'm about ready to ditch Facebook, to be honest with you, because it's just crap. It's just all this kind of stuff that I've never searched for, never asked for, never wanted to see. And it's just, there's nothing I want to see there anymore. So, sometimes you might want to really declutter in that area because it's just a waste of time, right? And, perhaps there's a little bit more of a targeted approach that you can take to connect with something or some people that are a little bit more in tune with who you actually are. So whether you put filters on there or blocks on there or just change your social media entirely, who knows? But your 11th house is really good to really connect with people that can help you with new beginnings or making improvements. And so, business networking, trade shows, things like that, that can be really good for you. You can make some really good connections that way. So, this also very futuristic energy. So what do you want for your future? Where do you envision yourself for the future? Because you just might be able to make it happen. Set your intentions, set your wishes. So it can be a little, like I said, a little bit sparkly. We've got moonrise energy with cleansing energy. This always reminds me of Pink Floyd album cover, but cleansing. So cleanse and purge. Where do you need to liberate yourself? Where do you need to find some freedom? All right, we can cleanse and purge and release. We can declutter at this new moon, and it feels like a fresh start, even if it's not, right? Because we have simplified something in our lives. So whether it's your social media, whether it's your people that you connect with, whether it's something in your home so that you feel like, you got a little bit more elbow room, right? What do you need to cleanse? Okay, this is really highlighting that for you because Cancerian energy is not complicated, right? And so we don't want things to be overly complicated. So simplify, keep it simple, right? And whether that's something internally within us, something with our outlook, our perspective, something within our home, whatever it happens to be, right? There's enough complications that happen in life in and of itself. And, and sometimes we don't always have control over those things. So simplify, cleanse, purge the things that you do have control over. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Letting go can sometimes be really hard. Really difficult. Making change can be difficult. Changing your mindset, changing your perspective can be difficult as well. The 10 of Pentacles, though, can certainly bring you in some wonderful blessings. Now, do you need to do something new to bring in abundance and blessings? Maybe. Do you have something that potentially can come to fruition for you? Something in alignment with your wishes and your goals and your dreams? Perhaps. I will note that on this particular 10 of Pentacles card, that we do have stars on the ground. Wonderful. Because your 11th house energy, where this new moon is Aquarian energy ruled by the star card or represented by the star card. So what blessings do you want to harness? Do you need to let something go? 10s can be endings that lead way to new beginnings. And the 10 of Pentacles can certainly be a wonderfully blessed card, a blessed energy, right? But sometimes to achieve what we want to achieve, we've got to make some changes along the way. But with the 10 of Pentacles, it's very much about abundance, prosperity, blessings around your home, around your family, right? Just like the 10 of Cups, happy home, happy family, stability, security for your future and for now. It can be about inheritances with the 10 of Pentacles as well. And whether we inherit talent, wisdom, information, money, right? Whatever it happens to be, this can be a blessing coming in for us. When we do talk about inheritances, though, hopefully it's a living inheritance, because those are certainly a lot more fun than a traditional kind of inheritance that we might get. But this can be in the cards for you over the next 6 months or so. Okay. And this can, in a roundabout way, help make your wishes come true, right? Especially around your finances here. But what do we need to cleanse and purge to make room for some wonderful blessings to come in for us via the 10 of Pentacles? Okay. Sometimes it's like beliefs or blocks around money or whether you deserve something, right? Remember, your 11th house is about freedom, liberty, okay, ruled by Uranus, shaking something loose, letting something go. It's hard sometimes, right? Not always easy, but count your blessings, okay? Be open to new experience, be open to gifts as well. Okay, because the 10 of Pentacles, we do sometimes get those gifts. And if we're not in the mindset that we deserve things, and it's not entitlement, okay, it's very, very different, okay, not entitlement, but we deserve the blessings. We deserve good things. We deserve a healthy, happy home. We deserve good relationships, okay, too. We deserve abundance and prosperity and happiness and joy and stability and all these things in our lives, right? So let go of the things that are preventing you from receiving those. Okay, sometimes it's guilt, all right? But some great stuff coming in here for you there. There is your first moon card. Apparently you're getting 2, and it has: I see the gateway is open and the pathway is clear. My journey begins. Yes. Because when you start something, it can certainly transform into that 10 of Pentacles. Set some intentions, set some paths. Some of you, something will happen really quickly. For some of you, it'll take a little while longer. But that's your intentions. The gateway, the path is open. And there's your next card. Beauty raises my vibration. I seek it out for healing and joy. Focus on the good, focus on the positive, focus on the things that make you feel pleasure and joy, especially your environment, right? Your environment can really have an impact on your energy. Okay, beautify your environment in some way, whether it's moving your furniture around, changing the paint on your walls, focusing on your inner beauty, right? All of these wonderful things, they make us feel good and they raise your vibe, okay? And when our vibe is high, that's when the magic happens. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you guys for watching. Good luck in this lunation. And we'll move on now to Libra. Hello, Libra, and welcome to your new moon in Cancer reading. This is really good for you, for your business, for your career path, your public image, for your ambitions, your goals, the things that you want to achieve. So your 10th house in astrology is ruled by Saturn. Okay, and of course we do have a square happening with Saturn. So you may feel a little bit of push and pull, or you may feel like you really do need to get serious, or perhaps there's been something that has been troublesome along your career path. Okay, you can have a fresh start, a new beginning, a new perspective with this new moon. So you might be looking for a new job. You could be, potentially taking on some new projects, freshening up your resume, right? Those things that can help improve your image, your reputation. Okay, and you can use your reputation to your advantage to make improvements with your money, your daily life, that kind of thing, right? It's just that sometimes that Saturn energy, it does slow us down a little bit sometimes. Sometimes there's like, again, this little push and pull, like I want to go forward, but there's something that's holding me back. Okay, so we might need to look at those things in our lives there and think, okay, what can I do to move myself forward or to change my situation for the better? Because with with your 10th house energy, this could be where, maybe something as simple as your career and the amount of time that you spend at work is affecting your home life. And you want to find a better balance, or you want to find a better job so that you're not, spending so much time commuting in the car, or that you have a better quality of life. Are you coming home drained, right? That square energy there, right? It's like we're a little bit of an impasse perhaps there with that. So with this new moon happening in your 10th house, opening doors for career paths, maybe even a complete career change, like a different field entirely. This can be really good for you for maybe getting out of your comfort zone a little bit. Jupiter, right? Expanding your horizons a little bit, trying something that you've never done, or getting a dream underway that you've had, right? So maybe this is where you can use your reputation as, someone who's maybe really intelligent and really organized, and someone who can see the big picture and who doesn't jump to conclusions. You're a good fact checker, all this stuff. Maybe you can be a good consultant. Maybe you can be like an operations improvement kind of person, right? Something like that. So you can use your reputation that you've built to expand your horizons into something maybe a little more lucrative or a little more fulfilling for you. And whether this is something at home for you, or whether it's something closer to home, or whether, again, just something that maybe can bring you some more rewards, you just never know. You could also, in a strange way, you could also like get a new boss at some point, and your new boss recognizes your abilities and your talents, and you get rewarded for that because maybe somebody was holding you back in some way, right? And you didn't have opportunities for growth. And so this can be something where the dynamic there is shifting a little bit. But certainly great here for you to use your ambition to get what you want. We have Change Your Tune with a Moonlight Serenade. So change your tune. So have you been positive, or have you been negative? Have you been seeing the big picture, or have you been narrow-minded? Have you seen the potential and the possibilities that live within you, or has something been holding you back? It's time to change your tune, change your outlook, change your perspective, and most importantly, change the words that you speak. The words that we speak, whether internally or externally out loud, have great impact. Are you telling yourself a positive story? Or are you telling yourself a negative story? Right? Where is your energy at? Where are your thoughts at? Where's your communication at? As you can turn this around for the better and reap those positive rewards. We have the Five of Pentacles. Oh dear. So what are we doing new? Focusing on the positive, focusing on abundance, focusing on the potential, not focusing on lack or the things that we don't have or the things that we haven't achieved. And the Five of Pentacles can certainly show that maybe things haven't been where you want them to be. Maybe you've had some money troubles, or maybe there's been unexpected things that have happened that have taken your time, your energy, your attention. Perhaps you've been in a job where you haven't been paid your worth. The potential and the possibilities are there to turn some things around, but we do need to change our mindset. The Five of Pentacles is a tricky card, right? Because it is a lack energy. We're missing something. We don't have something. So whether it's our focus, whether it's our money troubles, or whether it's just we're not where we want to be, right? It can also be a stubborn energy. That there's help, there's support, there's guidance, there's possibilities available to us, but we're not seeing it right now because we're too focused on those negative things, right? We have to look at the possibilities. We have to look at the potential. We have to be more optimistic, and we have to be willing to accept or ask for help sometimes along the way as well. Okay. And this is that infusement of positivity and growth and expansion that Jupiter is bringing in. Jupiter, our most beneficial planet, right? Brings us blessings, brings us big picture energy, right? Pushes us a little bit out of our comfort zone, because the Five of Pentacles can also represent that you're stuck. You're stuck in your comfort zone, which isn't necessarily all that comfortable, right? Because there's no growth, there's no opportunities in your comfort zone. Even if we're not happy in our comfort zone, at least it's familiar. We know what to expect. And if there's one thing that humans don't like, it's surprises, right? We like order, we like structure, we like certain things for a lot of people. So wherever there's no's or negatives or blocks, whether it's internal or external in your world, this is your power and your ability to turn things around for the better. Remember, Cancerian energy, yes, it's nurturing, it's loving, it's emotional, it's creative, it's spiritual, it's intuitive, all these wonderful, it's patient, okay? But sometimes our patience, while it can be a virtue, sometimes, we can slip into an energy of apathy, okay? And Cancerian energy is initiative, right? It is a cardinal sign. Getting started, taking action, taking initiative, getting things off the ground. Remember, it's the Chariot. The Chariot is our willpower, our drive, our ability to exceed, to move forward, to overcome obstacles, and to create the change that we want to see. And that is the energy that you are harnessing. Here's a moon card. Got a nice affirmation on here. I will not remain stuck. I choose change. There we go. And second one. There you go. And I don't know if you can see it, but we've got a little victory dude on there. He's like a little bit in shadow. But anyway, gratefully, I surrender my struggle. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you so much for watching. Good luck in this lunation. Harness your power here, people. All right. I thank you for watching, and we'll move on now to Scorpio. Hello there, Scorpio, and welcome to your new moon in Cancer reading. Are you ready to spread your wings and fly? This lunation is landing in your 9th house, which is ruled by Jupiter and Sagittarius. So this is all about expansion, growth, big picture, harnessing your true potential. This is also about your spirituality, your beliefs, your higher mind. So you could be having some very deep, very big thoughts at this time. You may even be changing your mind about something here as well, right? We've got new ideas, new thoughts. Okay, you could have, this is a great opportunity to get your big ideas off the ground, and to, maybe even share them with the world, right? So you might be lost in thought a little bit. This can be where something that you've been thinking about for a while, now you're going to take action so that you can achieve something or you can make some change. Some of you are getting out of your comfort zone. You might be traveling. You might be going to a new destination that you've never been to before. Your 9th house, it's about your spirituality, religion, higher mind, your philosophy, right? Your outlook on life or the world, law and morals. Okay, so you could have legal situations that are maybe wrapping up, giving you a fresh start. Okay, or it could be something new. This is also about your ethics, your big ideas, travel, publishing and journaling. Okay, so if you've had a novel or something like that, short stories stuck in a drawer, maybe you have an opportunity here to self-publish, right? Make something happen for yourself. All right. But your 9th house is very much a big picture energy with expansion, growth, opportunities, outlook, big trips, new travel destinations. Maybe it's travel with a purpose as well, whether you travel for work or travel for education or travel just maybe to, instead of a week at an all-inclusive in Mexico or something, you're like, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to go and I'm going to explore some architecture, or I'm going to go to a country and just be at one with the culture and the people, and live life just a little bit differently. So you could have some really interesting changes in perspective on how you want to travel and spend your money as well, because there's like a learning, a soaking up the environment, soaking up the culture kind of energy there. So very interesting place to have a new moon, and especially one that is in that conjunction with Jupiter. Okay, so big things can happen with this one. We have Moon Madness coming in for you. Avoid drama. All right. Now, how do you avoid drama? Maybe you go on a vacation. There could potentially be a little bit of drama because, of course, again, Cancerian energy is about the home, the family, your parents, your children. And there could be a little bit of a battle of wills, especially if maybe you want to travel somewhere that you've never been instead of sit by a pool for a week or two. And maybe other people don't necessarily share your opinion. So, you may, I don't know that you're going to concede. I think maybe you might find compromise in order to avoid some drama. New moons in and of themselves don't typically bring in a lot of drama. They're a lot more calm and peaceful than a full moon would be. But because this one is in the sign of Cancer, there is emotions that do come up. So, there could be something going on around your home, where maybe some emotions run high a little bit, and so you might be changing how you deal with things, right? Instead of maybe getting right involved, maybe you just let something play out and see where the chips fall. You might also be wanting to make some changes in your life, right? So that you don't have drama, especially around your home, right? So it could be neighbors. Right? It could be neighbors. Maybe you got some neighbors that you share a wall with, and they're always fighting, or rambunctious kids always in the backyard, and you can't get any peace and quiet. Maybe you have a neighbor that always has parties and things. Those things can create drama as well, right? It doesn't just have to be inside your home or with your family. So how do you avoid drama? You walk away. Do you engage? Probably engaging in something won't avoid any kind of drama. Do you decide just to let something slide because it's not worth an argument? Scorpio, okay. It's not always like you necessarily. I mean, sometimes, you might let things go for a while until things become a little bit explosive, right? So there could be something here where you might have a new way of life opening up for you, but it may require a little bit of change because you are tired of a little bit of drama. You're like, I don't want to walk on eggshells anymore. So you could have some changes that you are looking to make there. And with this new moon, being ruled for you by Jupiter, here, of course, this is where you're like, I got to get out of my comfort zone. I got to get out of my current environment. I need to spread my wings and fly. All right. We have entrapment here as well. And this is the Hanged Man. All right. In this card, what do you need to let go? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to surrender? Okay, where do you need a shift in perspective? All right, this particular energy will certainly be one where we need to step into the flow. Okay, so again, maybe there's something here where you would normally engage, you would normally fight, you would normally fight back. Okay, or maybe you would seek some sort of revenge, right? Whether it's petty or not. And so with this particular energy, those things kind of can keep you stuck. So it's time to let those things go. It's time to look at things a little bit differently, to change your perspective a little bit, step more into the flow of the universe, the flow of things. And these things will help you along your journey, right? And sometimes we do need to know when to let some things go, when to let some things slide. And, and this can be part of your new philosophy that you're taking on life, right? And of course, Jupiter helps you in that regard, okay? And the new moon energy, right? It's a new way, a new perspective, a new way of being, a new take on things, a new approach at things, right? And this can certainly be helping you to let things go, helping you to see something from someone else's point of view, helping you to release those things that have been bogging you down, weighing you down, right? So that, you can have a little bit more of a peaceful life. Now, this also is about stepping into the flow of things, because there could be an epiphany moment coming in here for you with this as well. All right. And when we let our hair down, which is what Rapunzel there is doing, when we let our hair down, we let something go. Okay. We open up to new possibilities, new ideas. Okay. Or again, that new perspective, right? That difference in perspective there. So we do need to kind of take a step back a little bit and allow something to happen, allow ideas to flow, allow a different point of view, right? And epiphany. So you just never know. Great new moon for you to engage in some spiritual practice, with this being the 9th house. This can be where you're questioning some things as well, right? Because the 9th house does have to do with your belief systems, right? Your spirituality or your traditional religious belief systems. You might be trying to figure out how to marry the two, how to blend the two together, or maybe you're trying to figure out how do the old ways blend or intersect or conflict with my new ways of thinking, or newer ways of thinking. Spirituality isn't new by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a lot less conformist, right? And so this can be where you might be a little bit of a crossroads. So engaging in some meditation, taking a step back, whether you do some candle work, whether you do some cleansing, or maybe you just want to, learn some information, right? 9th house about your higher mind, right? It's a great time to kind of see where you're at with what you believe in. And this can be a little bit of, drama, because maybe, you've got grandma or something like that that's very strict, and very set in their old ways, but you're more loosey-goosey, right? You're more spiritual, you're more in the flow of things, right? And so sometimes we need to not engage in, trying to change someone's mind or justify ours, right? And that's where this energy of letting things go can help you as well. But a great time for you to expand your knowledge on your belief systems, bring in new ideas, put some new practices into motion here as well. Maybe even engage in some new rituals, and you just never know what kind of luck and magic you might tap into. There's your card. Now, this one always reminds me of Sagittarius, and I don't know how well the picture comes through, but we do have what looks like an archer, right? And that's Sagittarius. The sign of Sagittarius is the archer, right? Focusing on your goals and dreams, lining yourself up for success, and then shooting your ideas out there, or shooting yourself forward and gaining momentum, right? So it can certainly be very magical. So this one always reminds me of Sagittarius energy. Every day I focus on what is important. Focus on what is important and let the little things go. Big life lesson, perhaps. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful, mystical, magical, and lucky new moon. And we'll move on now to Sagittarius. Hello there, Sagittarius, and welcome to your new moon in Cancer reading. So, are you ready for some change? Saggy. This is happening in your 8th house, of course, ruled by Pluto. Pluto right now is retrograde, okay, in Aquarius. It is our only retrograde planet at the moment, okay, until early July. So you might find that you are a little bit in kind of like a seesaw, a little bit in the past, a little bit in the future, okay? So it's important to stay present, okay, and focused on the now. All right. With the Pluto retrograde energy, you might be wanting to let go of something that's been a part of your past. Okay, so that you can find freedom to move forward for your future. This can be people, this can be beliefs, this can be pretty much anything. Okay, but the 8th house energy is about endings, new beginnings, births, deaths, transformation, a little bit of mystery, perhaps. Some of you could get a little bit of a surprise, or there could just be something mysterious going on. The 8th house is about inheritances as well. Okay, so you could be inheriting something. You could have, literally in this energy, you could have a long lost relative that all of a sudden put you in their will. And you're like, I don't even know who this person is. Or maybe it's you vaguely remember from many, many years ago, your childhood, and you didn't even maybe know that they were still around, right? So it can be something that's a little bit of a surprise. This is also, the 8th house, also about things that are hidden. Okay, so you might be diving into the depths of your subconscious with this energy. Pluto does go into the darkness, into the deep, and brings things back, okay, out into the open. So again, this can be where you might be revealing something, or something may be revealed to you. And because it's a new moon, and because it's lucky, and it's, for the most part, very positive. Okay, this can be some happy surprise. Okay, this can be a happy revelation. The 8th house is also, of course, about the things we share with other people. So our money, our possessions, our home. Okay, that kind of thing. So there could be something changing, or something that needs to change. All right, especially your household finances, right? If you've been dating somebody, maybe now you decide that you're going to get married or live together, and now something could be changing with your distribution of the bills and responsibilities. And, are we going to share a bank account, or are we not going to share a bank account? How do we divide up the responsibilities, right? So we got things like that going on there. So there could be something new or something changing with that. But certainly other people's money. The 8th house does represent those things that are inevitable. Births, deaths, taxes, right? You might be paying off a loan. You might be taking out a new loan. Okay, so you could have financial freedom, or you could be entering into a new agreement. Okay, but with this lunation here, it's all positive, right? So if you take out a loan for something, it's because you want something, right? You get some benefit back out of it. Okay, so it can be very interesting. But the 8th house can also represent the sacrifices that we make. So if you previously made sacrifices, something could potentially be coming back to you. You could be rewarded for something here. Maybe you do need to leave something behind in order to have the fresh start that you've been looking for here as well. All right, but the 8th house is also really good for any kind of spiritual practice as well, because it does deal with the occult, and the occult is just hidden, right? It doesn't have a negative connotation necessarily. So, this can be where maybe you have some spiritual practice, and now you're going to reveal some sort of truth, right? So the 8th house does tend to be a little bit of a mixed bag, but one thing that you can certainly guarantee is that the next 2 weeks, the next month, the next 6 months or more, okay, is represented by change and transformation. All right. And of course, don't forget, Jupiter is your planet, your ruler, your benefactor. Okay. It is exalted in the sign of Cancer, and it is working for you. Okay. So really work with the energy of Jupiter. Jupiter likes fire. Jupiter likes lightning. Jupiter likes purple, blue, orange, right? All of those things. So look up ways to work with the energy of Jupiter, because you can really harness a lot of magic right now. Oh, hey, would you look at that? We have Quicksilver moon changes. So there you go. So yeah, changes of all kinds, new beginnings, fresh starts, and improvements. All right. So it was a wonderful energy. So change is in the wind for you guys. But you really are in the flow of things with this lunation. Okay. So step into the flow. Don't resist changes. You're pretty good anyway. You're pretty forward thinking anyway. And you're a sign that navigates change really quite well. You're a mutable sign, right? So, it's like you just go with the flow. It's like you roll with the punches. It's like, oh, okay, well, this isn't working. Oh, I guess I got to change something then. No problem. Or, oh, there's changes happening over here. Well, okay, well, that's unexpected. I didn't want that, but let's roll up our sleeves and let's deal with it, right? So, you do tend to be, really, really good at navigating things. And you're good under pressure for the most part as well, right? So any kind of change that's coming in, I feel like you can navigate it, you can deal with it, but remember, you can be the mastermind of your own change as well. We have the Six of Pentacles. Well, isn't that lovely? The Six of Pentacles can certainly be a little bit lucky. It can be something flowing back to you. You're receiving something, a reward, a gift, a surprise, something like that. This is can also be something that does come back to you as a result of something that you've put out. So you could have, again, you could, if you've invested some money, you could have some inheritance, or not inheritance, interest or something like that coming your way. Something could pay off for you. Something can be gifted to you or handed down to you. And it can be a little bit of a surprise often with the Six of Pentacles. It's not necessarily like a fortune as far as money goes, because it can certainly be money. More often than not, it does represent some money or help in some way. But it's not necessarily like, a massive fortune, although I wouldn't rule it out. Okay. But it can certainly be something that's comes in right at the right time, right when you need it. The Six of Pentacles can also represent you being given something that you have to return back. So again, loans, right? Things like that. So whether you're paying off a loan or taking out a loan, you're getting something because of something that you give. Okay. And it's all circulating back and forth. But this is also about balance, fairness, and equality as well. So we can restore the scales of balance there also. So again, something may need to change with your household finances because something has gotten out of balance. Maybe you or your spouse has had a career growth and maybe, increases in pay while the other person has not. And so now you got to revisit your household budget because one person is flush and one person is broke, right? So now we kind of need to restore the scales there a little bit. But whatever it is, there could certainly be something flowing back to you. You could have a little bit of luck or a gift headed your way, okay? Or certainly a focus on restoring some balance. Six of Pentacles is often where we do get a bonus or a raise, and it can certainly represent an honest day's work for an honest day's pay also. So you could have something really positive happening in your career path or with the money that you bring in. Let's get a couple of moon cards here for you. There is your first one. I am courageous and powerful. Speak that out loud there, especially if you need to make any change or if you're going through changes. I am courageous and powerful. All right, harness that energy. And there is your next one. Beautiful card. I invite peace within myself. I ripple this outwards. Remember that Six of Pentacles, what you put out flows back to you, often multiplied. Okay, so we're going to put out beautiful vibes. Beautiful vibes flow right back to you. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. Good luck in this lunation. Not that you need it. Harness the power of your benefactor, Jupiter. Okay, and believe in your magic. Believe in your power and believe in your luck. All right. I thank you guys for watching, and we're going to move on now to Capricorn. Hello there, Capricorn, and welcome to your new moon in Cancer reading. So this is happening in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. So this is ruled by Venus. Okay, so there could be a little bit of love in the air for some of you. If you're single looking for love, this can be really positive for you. Okay, this can be also really positive for repairing relationships or taking something to the next level. Now, it's not just romantic relationships, of course. It can be friendships, business partnerships, you name it. Okay, something that involves our relationships with other people. Now, because the new moon can also be a fresh start, perhaps some of you are feeling like you are starting fresh because maybe you've been through a breakup. And, you might find that you have some loving, caring, nurturing people in your life that, are very helpful, very supportive for you. You could also be ready maybe to meet some new people. And, maybe you're not necessarily looking to make new friends or new romantic interests, but this can certainly be bringing you a little bit of luck in that area. All right. And consider it something like being at the right place at the right time kind of thing. You can have those little accidental meetings that end up becoming very fortuitous for you, right? So, those little karmic connections perhaps along our way. The seventh house does also have to do with contracts. Okay, so some of you could be having new contracts, like new business contracts, a new job, that kind of stuff. We can also really be focused on equality and sharing. Okay, so what you share, are things equal, especially with that Cancerian energy being in our home, right? Do you share responsibilities with someone in your home equally, right? And equally doesn't necessarily mean 50-50, right? Balance, fairness, and equality mean a little bit different to different people in different circumstances, right? So, but you might be looking at things going, do I think that things are divided up equally? We have equal levels of responsibility, or are they fair, right? And if not, then maybe you're going to look at doing something in a new way. All right. You could also have some changes again going on in your relationships. So you could be moving in with someone, taking a relationship to the next level, entering a higher level of commitment as well, including in your business partnerships there also. So whether it's new or whether it's improvements, here we are getting things back on track, okay, or we're really seeing things prosper. But be open to some new stuff there, because sometimes new people enter our lives when we least expect it, okay, and just because the universe has our back. We have reached the moon. Reach for the moon. Go for it. Okay. Take a leap of faith. Jump in with both feet. Go for it. If you get an invitation to go somewhere, go. If you get an opportunity, you see a door opening, walk through it. Okay. See what's on the other side, right? You could have a great business idea, and, again, you could maybe just bump into an old friend. We do have Pluto retrograde. It's our only retrograde planet at this time, right? And Pluto can bring things from the past, right? Or they can bring us surprises, things that are hidden, things that we can't quite see. So, you might have a business idea. You want to get it off the ground. Maybe you bump into somebody that you used to work with or someone that you used to know, and maybe you get to talking and sharing some ideas, and it could blossom into like a business partnership, right? So sometimes you just never know what may happen, and especially when we've got Jupiter at play, getting a little bit out of your comfort zone, okay, can really help you out. And remember, we do have Mercury also that is in the sign of Cancer as well. So it's really great for communication, negotiation, talking things out, and resolving issues as well, right? Striking up a deal, all that kind of stuff. So go for it, get out of your comfort zone, take a leap, have that conversation. Jupiter energy, remember, Jupiter rules the Wheel of Fortune. Take a chance, take a risk. Take a gamble. You just never know. It could very much pay off, right? And if you're not sure about something, maybe there's a friend that you can bounce some ideas off of, and they're, just as like maybe a grounding point, or something for you, the voice of reason maybe for you, right? But go for it. What goals, what dreams do you have in mind? Where do you want a business relationship to go? Where do you want a personal relationship to go? Just go for it. All right. We also, the Six of Pentacles. Wow. This Six of Pentacles has come up about 4 times. And just previously to you was in Sagittarius, and now we've got it again in your sign. So the Six of Pentacles can certainly be something coming your way, right? What we put out bounces back to us, and often with the Six of Pentacles, we get some sort of reward. Okay, so we get maybe some money, we get a bonus, we get a raise, we get a job that pays us what we're worth. Our boss finally hires us the help that we've been looking for. The Six of Pentacles is also a merchant card, right? So it's where maybe we've got our own business or we can partner up with somebody. And it's also where we look at our scales of balance and fairness and equality as well. So this can be a really good, optimistic, positive sign for all of these things to come to fruition and to blossom for you. So yes, you could get some money coming back to you, or you have the potential, the energy that you put out there is going to multiply. Or if you make an investment, right, a business opportunity can pay you rewards and dividends, right? So all these really wonderful things. You could also have some help, because the Six of Pentacles, right? Maybe you've been helpful and you put yourself out there and you give other people guidance and support, and now it's your time to reap those rewards. So again, you could have some help that may come out of nowhere, and it may be least expected. But the Six of Pentacles, we often do get a little bit of a surprise, and a good surprise at that. All right. So really positive. Ooh, so there's your card flying out. We'll get you a second one, I think. There we go. So let's have a look and see which one flew the coop. And there's your card. Looks very much like a new moon, doesn't it? I accept that here and now is exactly where I am, and that it is a place of profound learning. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Be open to new experiences, be open to wisdom, and that's what this new moon brings in as well. Okay, you are where you are supposed to be, for sure. Your next card. I know my shadow side, and I work to willingly transform aspects of it. Okay. We all have good, we all have challenging aspects of ourselves. Know who you are, know what your blessings and your positive attributes are, but also know where you need work, right? And be willing to embrace change, be willing to take a new approach at things, and you will be rewarded for it. I'll leave all that there for you guys. I thank you guys for watching. Good luck in this new moon, and we'll move on now to Aquarius. Hello there, Aquarius, and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. We have your new moon in Cancer reading here for you. Now, this is happening in your 6th house. So we're really having a focus on your health, happiness, and well-being of all kinds. So your physical health, your mental health, emotional health, all of these things, right? Your spiritual health here as well. Are you happy? Are you not happy? Is there something you want to change? The 6th house is where we really do look at our daily habits, our daily routines. So you could be wanting to try something new. Maybe you've got a fitness goal in mind. Maybe you've got a health goal in mind. Maybe you're looking at your day-to-day routines and going, man, I am so busy. I am so tired every single day. I don't have time for myself. I don't have time to do the things that I love. And so this is where you are potentially wanting to do something new, take a new approach, and make some change. And maybe it's been challenging. Maybe it's been a little bit of a struggle for you. Maybe you've been feeling like you have a lot of responsibilities. We do have a square to Saturn, right? So, it's like your responsibilities that you have may be preventing you from finding your true fulfillment, or having time to do the things that you really want to do that make you feel happy and fulfilled and all these things. So you might need to take a new approach at something. You might need to really make a concerted effort to let something go. And you might even need to write something down, write some goals down. Because sometimes, let's say, we want to lose weight or something like that. How do we do that? Well, one of the key ways to start is to change your diet a little bit, right? But if you don't maybe write down or keep track of what you're eating, right, then you can lose track of it very quickly, right? So Saturn, thank you, encourages us to write down some goals, or to keep track of things, or to take that very boring, down to earth, practical approach to help us make our dreams come true. But again, with the Saturn is that planet of responsibility. So there could be something weighing you down that you do need to deal with, right, before you can really make those positive changes. But with the new moon is a new approach, a new outlook, a new perspective, and new possibilities. So it can be really great. With the sixth house having to do with your health of all levels here as well. With a new beginning here, you could, maybe you've been going through some health issues, or, you've been going through some treatment or something, and this can be where you get some really good news, and this is like a weight lifted off your shoulder, and like it's an opportunity for a new way of life, or a new beginning, or a new outlook, because now you don't have this medical thing or something hanging over your head. Some of you here are also maybe seeking out new medical practitioners or new ways to deal with your health, right? And it can be that maybe you need a new family doctor, or your massage therapist may have moved somewhere and now you got to find a new one. Or maybe you're looking to take a new approach at your health by seeking out like a naturopath or something like that, right? So it's going to be a great time to find a new practitioner that is in alignment with your needs and with your current situation. And you can just have a really good, you could just get a lucky break, right? Maybe a specific practitioner or something that you have in mind, all of a sudden has an opening, and it's like, oh, this is awesome, right? Because maybe you were recommended, or have a friend that goes to them or something like that. It can be something like a personal trainer or something like that as well, right? So you could just find that perfect fit, right, with this very fortunate new moon. So new practitioners, new ways of taking care of your health, that kind of thing. The sixth house does also have to do with your pets as well. So it's a great time to get a checkup for yourself, but also one for your pets. Some of you could potentially be looking at getting a new pet as well. Okay. Or you may at some point need to adjust to a new way of life, because perhaps one of your pets has unfortunately crossed the rainbow bridge, as they tend to do after a while. And so you're maybe adjusting a little bit, but then you might open up to the possibilities of getting a new one. Just because, if you're an animal lover, which a lot of Aquarians are, maybe you used to have a dog and now you want a cat. Right. And it's just, because you have a lot of love to give, and you are humanitarian. So maybe instead of buying one, you might just visit your local SPCA or something like that and rescue probably something that's a little bit older and overlooked. Maybe you could have that going on there for you as well. But this is a great opportunity for you to develop new habits, patterns, daily routines, new workspace, new jobs. As well in this, and even kind of new career paths may come up here for some of you as well. We have moon circles energy here, bringing support. So you may have some very supportive people that are around you. Now, if you're trying to make better habits in your life, whether it's physical, spiritual, whatever it happens to be, there could be like a support group or a supportive group of people that have the same goals and the same problems in their lives that you do in yours. So you can learn from each other, you can support each other, lift each other up when you're down, cheer each other on when you're on track, all those kind of things. So maybe if you're trying to lose weight, you go to a Weight Watchers meeting or something, or if you want to get in shape, maybe instead of just going it alone at the gym, maybe you join some fun kind of class, right? Like a Zumba class or something like that. And there's a whole bunch of people there, and just letting it loose, like those old Richard Simmons ones. What was it? Getting fit with the oldies or something like that. I forget the name. Anyways, but those were fun. I used to have one of those, and they were exciting, right? And it's like a fun way. It didn't feel like exercise. It didn't feel like work. So there could be those kind of groups, supportive people that you can connect with and that you can join. You could also just have some supportive friends. And so, again, like supporting each other. So maybe you make a pact with a friend or something like that, right? And you're like, let's do this together. And, so it can be a really wonderful energy. So where do you have support in your life? And you might also, be meeting some new people, but you could also, discover right? That support system. We have temptation. Okay. So what a fitting card to come out when we have a new moon in your 6th house, because temptations is the devil card, right? This is our bad habits. This is our fears, our worries, our doubts, our shadow side, right? But this is also our daily habits, patterns, and behaviors that, on the surface can be good in moderation, but in excess are not. So this can be where, if you want to change your eating habits, right? This is where you're tempted by, oh man, those French fries do smell good, or maybe you have maybe you have an addiction to sugar. Maybe you like your sweets. You could just find yourself that it's a bad habit that's hard to break, right? And we got to start somewhere. So this particular moon can certainly say to you that you may, in order to break a habit and do things better and to turn things around, okay, and take back your control, okay, you might need to seek out some support, right? And again, lifting each other up, right? When we're falling off the wagon, right? Temptation card. So this is also about facing your fears and, recognizing where you really do have control. The temptation card, it's the devil card, right? And the devil card, always does remind us that at some point we may have given our power away, right? Something has control over us, something has a hold over us, but we always have the power to take back our control, to take back our personal power, to get things back on track and make better decisions. It's sometimes we feel powerless. Sometimes we're afraid of change. Sometimes we just give in to those temptations because it's so good, right? And, and again, the devil is like, here, have this cake, just have one bite. I know you're trying to cure your sugar addiction, right? But it's just one bite. It won't do you any harm. And in the meantime, you call up your support system and you're like, oh man, I really want to have this cake. And I've got this monkey on my back and I just know that I shouldn't have it, right? And so, it's those kind of things, right? And of course, having a cake every once in a while isn't necessarily a bad thing unless you've got like a trigger with that. But so think of those things with the temptation card, the things that do have you under your thumb, or the things that aren't healthy for you anymore, the things that are blocking your path to your happiness and your joy. And this is what we need to work on, and this is where we need to let go. But remember, you have the power to make those positive changes. Okay, so you have the power to change. You have the power to get things on track. You have the power to break patterns and habits and belief systems and all those things that are keeping you a little bit stuck or in the dark or whatever. Okay, so positive changes ahead for you. All right, let's get you a moon card and see what your moon affirmation is. Ooh, thank you very much. We've got that one. I like that one. That one's been out, I think, once. Who had that? I forget who had that. Maybe Sagittarius. Anyways, let's get you 2 moon cards here. And there's your first one. I accept that here now is exactly where I am. And that it is a place of profound learning. Okay, even when the devil card comes out to play, okay, boundaries and perspective always needed with the devil card. Okay, remember that we can learn from our mistakes, we can learn from our bad habits, we can learn about, what our triggers are, we can learn what our fears are, right? And then we can tap into our inner wisdom and choose, right, what to embrace or what to let go of. There's your next card. I enjoy the serendipity of life. The unexpected can be wonderful. And with that, I will leave that there for you guys. I thank you so much for watching. Good luck in this lunation, and we'll move on to Pisces. Hello there, Pisces, and welcome to your new moon in Cancer reading. This can be super positive lunation for you. Of course, Jupiter is your traditional ruler, and this is happening in your 5th house, ruled by the sun. And this is your house of pleasure, joy, creativity, your hobbies, romance, love affairs. Okay, if you're not looking to start a family, expand your family, get pregnant, you might want to, pay attention, okay, because new moon, Jupiter ruled Cancerian energy and your 5th house. You could end up with some responsibilities that you may not have bargained for. So surprise pregnancies and things like that do happen in this particular kind of energy. But the 5th house is really good for focusing on fun and pleasure and joy in your life, right? It's love is in the air. We've got, if you've been working too hard, then this can be a really good time to have some fun. Or maybe you just recognize where you need to find more pleasure and joy in your life. It's really good for redecorating your home, reorganizing your space, right? Making your home front, your castle. This can be a really good energy for finding a job where you can use your creative talents and maybe have a little bit of fun while you work as well. That can be fun for you. But we've got our hobbies and our interests with this particular energy here as well. So, but there's something here because we do have that square to Saturn. So it can be where you just want to have fun. You just want to take things easy, but you've got the responsibilities, or, you're hindered in some way, right? So something maybe has to change a little bit. So you might be looking at making having a fresh start somewhere, right? So that you can have more fun. Fun is the goal. Happiness and joy is the goal, and you can make it happen at this time, but you might just have to work hard at it. Okay, or you might just need to focus on, freeing up some time and maybe releasing yourselves from some responsibilities. But ultimately, we can have some very wonderful, pleasant surprises, happy surprises coming up in your 5th house with a new moon here. So very magical energy, very fun-loving energy, very lighthearted energy for the most part. And, try new things, get out of your comfort zone, spread your wings and fly. Try something that you've never done before. Go out and have a little bit of fun, right? You just might need to put in a little bit more effort and attention into making it happen, okay? So we have Moonlight, we've got Enchanted energy here, so a little bit magical there for you. So I love that card's come out when we've got love and romance in the air in your 5th house. So and if you're single looking for love, this is an awesome lunation for you. If you are, maybe casually dating somebody, this can be where maybe something is headed down the road of something a little bit more serious or committed. You could have a chance encounter here as well, and just something that you didn't quite expect. This is a great magical time to make your dreams come into reality, whatever they happen to be. So it's a beautiful energy. When the moon hits your eye, anything is possible here. So under the beautiful lunation that we've got here, harness your magic, set your intentions, and believe that anything is possible. So it's very magical energy there for you. We have the Prince of Pentacles. The Prince of Pentacles can certainly be you on a quest for something new or for something better, for something improved, a quest for knowledge, quest for experience. This is a very creative energy here as well, very much matching the 5th house. Okay, so honing your craft, honing your skills, maybe even turning a creative hobby, a project into potentially money-making venture. That can be very interesting for you here as well. So a new home-based business, perhaps, right? Using your talent, okay, to make a little bit of extra cash. Right? That can be really awesome for you. But the Prince of Pentacles can represent that something you've been working towards can pay off. Patience is your virtue, and patience will be rewarded. The Prince of Pentacles is actually the Knight of Pentacles. One day at a time, one foot in front of the other. Pay attention to the details. Okay. Care and attention, and you will be rewarded. So if you've been working towards something for a long time, right, responsibilities and things like that, you could have something here where you're at the end of the road. You could be getting rewarded, recognized for something, and this allows you maybe more money to have a little bit more fun, or more time to have a little bit more fun and pleasure in your life in some way. You could get a new job, you could get a raise, you could get a promotion, right? All of these things with this, but also someone could gift you something, because sometimes this can represent some sort of proposal or some sort of invitation or an opportunity that may open up for you, right? Something maybe you've been waiting for a while. All right. So you could have a little bit of luck on your side there, but certainly very slow moving energy with the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. But ultimately incredibly rewarding. All right. So reward yourself as well there. Okay. Especially if you've been working too hard, it's time to have a little bit of fun. So try and find a little bit of balance in your world somewhere, and find that healthy balance between work and play, whatever that looks like to you. And let's get you a couple of moon cards. You could also meet somebody here with the Prince of Pentacles that can be a potential friend, business partner, romantic interest, okay, or current romantic interest, and they are not afraid of commitment, okay, or there's someone that you would really like to commit to for the long term. All right. It can be very beneficial, very rewarding. There's moon card for you. And your affirmation: life is conspiring for me. Okay. Remember, for me. Life happens for you. Never to you, for you. Okay. To you implies victim mentality. For you implies that you are an engaged and active player in your life. Okay. Even the challenging things, right? It's empowering. It's empowering energy, right? Life is conspiring for me, never to me and never against me. Okay. There's your next card. I gather more wisdom each day. Interesting for that one to come up, especially since we do have the Prince of Pentacles. So it could be something that you're learning, or it could be a life lesson that you can apply going forward, okay? Or using your wisdom to make the right choices. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you so much for watching. Good luck in this lunation, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.